up, you guys? This is Kicking It with Blair, and today I have Eric Phillips. He's going to give us some insight and share his journey on being an actor, writer, and director. Okay, welcome to my show, Eric. Thank you for joining me today. Can you start with telling the viewers a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so pretty much I came up with my mom, following behind her, figuring out, just seeing her perform and do her thing in the arts. And so as I was, watching her perform and everything like that, there was one particular time my mom was making a very powerful scene. And and as me and my little brother was watching her, we hear like the sniffling in the background. And so I turned behind myself and I see a young lady in the background and she was crying. And so at the time, like I wasn't engaged with the arts at the time, but I knew whatever my mom was doing, I felt though, it was profound. So I said, okay, well, whatever she's doing, that's what I want to do. And so make a long story short, I ended up pursuing that and following my mom around some more. And my mom ended up making a program called the Performing Arts Workshop. And so pretty much what that was is she offered like acting, singing, and dancing for free for, youth in the community. And so a lot of my friends, we were part of that program. And so we just came up into it. And, in that time of going through that workshop in that program, I was able to hone my skills in singing, acting, and dancing. But at the time, I couldn't really dance. So that was my thing. So I was just like, all right, well, let me just stick to the acting. So make a long story short, as I was going through elementary school, my 8th grade year, I found out there was a performing arts school called Charter Tech. And so I went and took a day. I shadowed behind one of the students at the school, and I was able to, experience the time there, what their experiences like going into an actual acting class, spending time like honing it, learning Shakespeare, Broadway plays, musicals, different things like that, things that I was exposed to previously. But I was able to do it all day. So that I was just like in like acting heaven. So after that, I kept pushing forward. And so, I had many different opportunities, but one of the most memorable moments was a play that I did called Rent. And so that actually, nailed it down for me, say, okay, I want to pursue this professionally. And so we just went and kept honing the craft. And, opportunities, by the grace of God, I was able to get, different opportunities with short films and featured films. And we just progressed on to there. And I'm here now today.
Okay. And I wanted to go on to the next question. So can you tell us some of the shows you've done? I know you named Rent, and if there are any more shows that are you consider your favorite that you've done?
So when I was younger, I think I might have been in like the 5th or 6th grade. I did a play called A Raisin in the Sun, written by Lorraine Hansberry. And that was actually my first time touring with like a production company. And so we went to different HBCU colleges and, I got the HBCU experience before ever like really getting into college. But It was just so profound because it was like the story itself holds so much power, a message that at the time I couldn't necessarily understand, but the people that I was surrounded by, taking it back to, it takes a village to raise a kid. The people that I was surrounded by, they played such a huge part. And then also just learning the craft and being around people who was doing it longer than me, but also was encouraging me to do the same thing. So I was able to do A Raisin in the Sun. I did Fences, Dreamgirls, and then a few different plays. So it would be more of a variety thing. So it'd be different scenes from different plays or self-written plays by different playwrights in my area. Mm-hmm. And so that's how I ended up going about it. But one of my favorite ones outside of Rent, I must say, was Once Upon a Mattress. And the funny part about that is I didn't talk throughout the whole production. I played King Seximus, and he had a curse put on him to where he couldn't talk. So it was more like the body movement. So learning how to use my full body and explain the same thing I would say if I was using words. So that was one of my other favorite moments. And then also, of course, Dreamgirls, that's amazing. That's my thing.
Who did you play in Dreamgirls?
I played Jimmy Early.
Oh.
Yeah. Jimmy got soul for sure. Yeah, so that was really dope. It was really dope. So those are some of my favorite moments. And of course, doing the variety shows, of course.
Right. I mean, so it's always good to hear about the good things.
Yes.
But is there any memories not quite so good that you're willing to share with us today?
Yes. Well, one of my least favorite moments were I won't say the person's name, but we were actually on set, and it was for a student project for one of the students at NYU, and it was a late shoot. We were there all day, but it started getting late, and people get tired, they get restless, they're ready to go home, they're hungry, all these different things that play a part, and it was just a lot of complaining going on. And for me, my pursuit is to be able to continue my career professionally. So for me, it's just more like, all right, I'll do whatever it takes to, get the job done. And then I'm enjoying it because it's something that I say I want to do forever. So it was this one particular situation where the person was just complaining. They were their attitude was a little bit nasty. And so that was that. But outside of that, I can't really say that I've had a really bad experience, only because if you're doing what you love, it's not really a bad experience. Of course, it comes with all of, things that people don't necessarily talk about, but I can't really say like there was one particular one outside of that was just like, all right, man, I don't want to do this ever again,
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
understand. Okay. And directing your own films. Now that's quite an accomplishment. I know how hard it could be in putting everything together. So can you tell us
Yes.
what all goes into directing a film?
So just recently, as you can see, I have my first short film here, My Brother's Keeper. This was actually my first time directing. I've done acting before, but putting on a director set, that was a little bit more challenging, only because it was my first time. I've seen my mom do it and different things like that, but really, having people look to you for answers and depend on you to be able to lead the way, that was a bit challenging. Only because it was my first time, but it takes a lot. You have to be a leader, of course. You have to know, not necessarily know what you're doing, but at least have an idea of what you want to do, because it can be very challenging because you have everything thrown at you. You have your cinematographer that's asking, all right, what shot do you want to see? You have your lighting tech. Well, all right, how do you want the lighting to look? How do you want the color to feel? You know what I mean? Do you want blue for like really cold moments, hot for like a warm moment, like all of those things? And then actors, you have to be able to direct your actors and give them not necessarily an emotion, but a direction in which you want the scene to go. So those are some of the things that play a part. But then also being able to coming into it to be your first time, just giving it your all and just saying, you know what, I may not know every single thing, but I have enough courage to be able to go and just lead the pack. You know what I mean? You're a leader. You have your own show here, so in regards to leading, there's certain qualities that you must acquire. You know what I mean? Being calm, not too rambunctious, and different things like that, and being able to remain cool under pressure. I think those are some of the things that play a part into being a director. But everybody, you start somewhere, so you build on. Even if the first experience isn't the best, you learn from it, figuring out ways to get better. And a lot of times I think people get discouraged in that sense. You know what I mean? They say, oh, it didn't happen in the exact way I wanted it to be, so it obviously isn't for me. You know what I mean? Instead of growing with it, growing pains. You know what I mean? When people get tall, their knees start hurting and stuff like that. They get body aches. So just like that, it's the same thing as far as anything that we do. You know what I mean? You want to go through the processes, trust the process, and continue to grow. So those are some of the things that I would say are some of the qualities or mindset that you have to be in as far as directing.
Right. And so since you did direct your first short film, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes. All right. So My Brother's Keeper, it's been a process for about 4 years now. It started off as a feature film, and I was like, I've got the whole thing written out. I think I might have been a junior, my junior year, so about 2018, I started writing it, finished it. But at the time, I didn't know where to go in regards to funding for a project. So I said, all right, well, what's another easier way to go about still getting this story out, but doing it at a cheaper price? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I said, all right, cool, let's do a TV series. That way, we can shoot a few episodes, break, get more, make some more money, and then come back, do another thing. But that after a while, that didn't sit right with my spirit. So I said, all right, well, let's transition it to a short film. All of these things are happening within a 4-year span, right? And
Right.
so I was able to break it down, getting some of the most significant parts of the film and taking it, and bringing that to screen. So to tell a little bit about the story is about two brothers. Both have the same opportunities as far as going to school and, making a better life for themselves. And, due to circumstances in life, their life took two different turns. And so we get a chance to explore that relationship with brothers, with brothers or sisters. Sometimes they're clashing of the heads. And that just, that comes with the territory. But we explore their relationship solely and their bond with each other. And then also we experience the relationship between one of our main characters, AJ, which is the younger brother, and his girlfriend. And so we explore that a little bit. I don't want to, without telling too much.
Right.
So we explore those two relationships. And then also just, with family, we fight. And sometimes a lot of people think, oh, well, families aren't supposed to fight. But at the end of the day, at least in my opinion, families are supposed to come together. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. Come together because we love each other, and that's what it is. And so that's what we kind of explore that. And I think that with this journey that we've taken, because the cast that I have are all my friends. Like everybody I know, like there wasn't one person that I went out and said, all right, well, I want to outsource. So it made it a lot easier as far as that process, because a lot of the people that I was performing with, I've worked on other projects with, so we were able to do other things with it, and so it was more opposed to it being like a real strict set. It was more fun. It was more like, all right, we're collaborating, we're creating, we're all artists, we're all making this happen, and we have the same vision. So it made it a lot more fun. And I actually had the opportunity to actually perform with my mom as well. She played my mom in the film, so it was cool to be able to have her a part of it with all that she has taught me. To have her see, the reflection of what she's taught me in actual real time. So that was pretty cool. So, but yeah, that's a little background on My Brother's Keeper. We just released it this past August 21st, and we had a awesome turnout. Due to COVID, we wasn't able to have a screening like we wanted it, but we were able to have some people show up. I think we did 2 screenings on the same day. 50 people the first one, 50 people the second one, and man, it was just amazing situation. The love and support that my community gave me was amazing, and it inspired me to keep going and pursuing this dream and making this dream a reality. So yeah, I'm proud of my baby.
I'm proud of you too. I saw it and it was really good. Can you tell the viewers where they can find it to watch
Yes,
it?
they can actually find it on YouTube. If you type in My Brother's Keeper, it should pop up. But if that doesn't work, you can type in Twisted Fantasy Productions, and we'll be the first one. And it's you can click on our page. We have a whole bunch of different projects there, but My Brother's Keeper is the official short film. And so we're actually planning on releasing this out into other film festivals and getting it seen by some other faces so that we can get some funding, so we can get the feature film done.
Yes, that's gonna be amazing. But it sounds like you have it figured out on what to how to
Yes,
get it
indeed.
there. And I also wanted to ask you, since you wrote it, what inspired you to write this story? Is it based off of some situations and things you've been through, or
Well, so I'll say this, not necessarily my story, but just through conversations with people that we talk to on a daily basis. Sometimes you hear stories, and like I said, I have a brother, and a lot of my boys, we are like we have a brotherhood. So it's like some of the conversations that we have, I was able to navigate. They say that arts imitate life. So I was able to put some of those situations into it. But there wasn't one particular story that I could say connected from my life into the actual story, but just, regular situations that happen with brothers, the bond, the mother and son, one son feeling as though, he has no opportunity, these are stories that we hear on a constant basis. He has no opportunity. He has, blaming everybody except for themselves for the reason why they're in the position that they're in, and then also having a young man who's in college and the challenges that come with that, you know, with being a student athlete, and then having a girlfriend and all of those things that play a part. So I wouldn't necessarily say it was something that I went through, but there are some similarities as far as the fighting. You know, me and my brother fight. Not anymore because he's too big now. I'm not going against that boy now. But yeah, you know, just, you know, something. My main goal is whenever I put out something, I don't want to put out anything that number one, I can't relate to, but then two, the people that the people that I want to see it, the people that I'm catering this project to, my demographic, I want them to be able to relate, because I feel like, you know, I don't want anyone to feel like they're by themselves, that they're the only ones that are going through a situation, that they're the only one that may have a problem with a sibling or you know, challenges as far as, you know, their life went this way, but they can't take it back and get on the right track. So I just wanted to dedicate the story to those people who may be feeling like they're the only ones going through a situation. And that's, I feel like I was able to accomplish that. And that's my goal as far as filmmaking, you know. A lot of the times, you know, with films, people they look for situations to where they can relate to. And for me, it was not necessarily something that I could relate to, but more to speak on a wide demographic, all of the things that we go through. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that was my goal with My Brother's Keeper. And I want to talk about the title just for a moment, only because in the Bible, I'm a Christian, so in the Bible, it touches on my brother's keeper. And then also, I went through a pledging process where, you know, you go through a process with your brothers, and those are the guys who you stick to, and those are the people that you lean on in tough times. And so they all played a correlating part, but that title, I feel like just holds a significant feeling and vibe to it that I wanted to touch. And so that's the reason why I picked that particular title there.
Oh, I like that. Okay. Well, you guys have to check it out. It was amazing.
Yes, please do.
And also, lastly, I wanted you to share with the viewers that may be trying to follow your footsteps in directing, acting, or writing, because it is a hard and competitive field. Can you give them any advice, any do's or don'ts, or anything motivational for them?
I'll say this: follow your dreams. You know what I mean? Sometimes it can be challenging. I just made a post because I was shooting a music video last Friday, and I was working on set, and I took a moment. We was taking a break, and I took a moment to reflect for a moment, because on the post I was saying, you know, 2 years ago, I knew that I wanted to be in this position. I just didn't know how I was going to get there. A lot of things, you know, like I said, funding for a project, you know, that can be a little bit discouraging if you can't get it. You know what I mean? And you don't get the budget that you're looking for, or just not having the courage, you know, fear, confusion, those things playing a part into, you know, getting a project out, you know. But just before I released it, I was talking to my boys. We had a dinner the night before, and I was telling them, I said, "You guys, I'm nervous. I'm afraid. I'm not afraid, but I'm nervous of what people are going to like think about the project. You know, this is your baby. You know, when you have a kid, you think your baby is the prettiest baby and the most beautiful baby in the world. You know what I mean? And even and until someone tells you otherwise, and then it's just like, you know, no matter what it is, this is a process. You know what I'm saying? I'm just beginning. So I say continue to press forward, even if there are times where you know you can't get in, and you know you're having self-doubt, and you know you're second guessing yourself. I feel like you need to continue to push through it, because sometimes there is a light on the other side of that is going to take you and pursue you in another direction. And that's exactly what happened in this particular project. Once I released it, it opened up other doors for me. And like I said, you know, fear comes, you know, that happens when you do anything new. You know, when I went off to college, I was like, yo, I don't know how this is going to go. You know what I mean? I was a little nervous about that, but you know, through that, I was able to meet dope people. I was able to meet some of my lifelong friends, people that I can still count on today. And so, you know, there's always there's a reaction to the action. So, but you got to get through it first. You know what I mean? You have to push through it. And so I say, you know, continue to push through it, and whatever your dream is, continue to go for it, and believe in yourself, number one, and then surround yourself with a team that's going to be able to pour into you when you're feeling like you're either half empty or empty altogether. You know what I mean? Because those are the important moments. Those are the times where you need someone to be able to speak life into you, to be able to bring you up. And so, and I was able to have a good team behind me, and brothers, not even a team, a family, a brotherhood that was able to elevate me and keep me going. So have a good team surrounding you, and never stop. You know, always look for the next thing. Always learn. Keep growing. You can never stop learning. You know, this thing, I've been acting for a very long time, but as far as the directing, this is new to me.
Right.
So I was able to have a blessed team. The cinematographer, Frank Gallagher, he came in on this project and taught me so much. You know what I mean? And I told him from the get-go, bro, I'm coming to you because you know what you're doing as far as the camera.
Yeah.
And I have a vision. I'm going to tell you this vision, and I need your help. I'm leaning on you just as much as the cast is leaning on me. And so we were able to, you know, come together, lock arms, and be able to make a dope project. And so I think it's just, you know, surrounding yourself with people who know more than you, who are able to teach you something. And, you know, love what you do what you love. You know what I mean? I won't say don't do anything that you don't love, because sometimes it calls for you to do that. But if you have the opportunity to, make sure that you position yourself in a way to where you can do what you love, because those are the easier moments, and those are the ones that, even if you're feeling like I don't want to, you know, things are getting tough, you're because you're doing what you love, you're able to keep showing up every single day and continue to press forward in what it is that you're doing. So those are some of the advice that I would give. And yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you. Thank you again, Eric, for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure the viewers will too. This was a
Yes.
very inspirational and enlightening interview. So there you have it, guys. That's Eric Phillips signing out with Blair. And don't forget, guys, to view his work. I'll have it in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys would like to see in here, because not only do Blair truly care, Blair truly shares. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.